Chris Sachi, great kid. One of my best friends too at Syracuse. Um, I used to play basketball back in the day. I stopped playing around my freshman year of high school before I hit my growth spurt. So kind of wish I stuck with it. But yeah, it was a fun sport. It was definitely built up a lot of character. But no, I did not continue with basketball into college. Lily Umana, yeah. Well, the reason she asked this question, Liliumana, the general manager of Citrus TV, a great friend, a great leader, one of my best friends at Syracuse for sure. Um, and the reason she asked this question is because I posted a TikTok, if you're familiar with the app, wearing a sweater similar to the one, um, Chris, have you seen the movie Knives Out? Okay, well, Knives Out is a mystery suspense, um, mystery suspense whodunit movie, and Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, is in that movie, and he wears essentially the same sweater. And so I also have that sweater. I wore it in a TikTok, and then that TikTok blew up. It got like 60,000 likes, and everyone in the comments was saying, "OMG, Chris Evans, Captain America, Captain America's back. You look just like Chris Evans." And then everyone around the station was teasing me about it. Everyone at Citrus TV was teasing me about it, saying, you don't even look like Captain America. Like, they're just messing with you. And I was like, oh, well, the people did say whatever. And I was just kind of being brash about it all. But to answer her question, no, I am not Captain America. But Captain America is my favorite Marvel character of all time. Especially in the movies, his arc from going as an obedient Boy Scout in World War II to questioning the systems, to tearing it down, to standing up for what he believes in. He is a marvelous character, no pun intended. His arc over 7 films in the MCU is fantastic, and as much as I strive to be like Captain America, I can confidently say I am not.
Okay. Okay, well, who that answer comes in now for you? Lily, and the final question this evening comes from Patrick Gunn, who also follows me on Twitter. Thank you so much. He's got 2 questions for you. So the first one is thoughts on the Universal move to have new releases drop on VOD, and the other one is you're stuck on a desert island. Which Avenger would you most like to be with and why? That's 2 good questions here on the Edward Fowler Show.
All right, so the first one about Universal moving movies to VOD. As a fan, I love that because it's showing that they care about people seeing movies when they were initially supposed to come out. And it's cool. I think Bloodshot, the movie with Vin Diesel, is confirmed coming on VOD very soon. That might be as soon as like first couple weeks of April. And I like that, but being the fan I am of film, I believe film and new movies are meant to be seen in the theater. I believe they are meant to be enjoyed among an audience of people, not just in a living room with a couple people. And so I tread lightly with this idea because we already know streaming services are taking over the world. We see Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. There's more streaming services than I can count on my 10 fingers. But if they do this with, moving movies that are meant to be released in theaters to VOD services, if those do really well, then they might start to think, okay, do we even need to release movies in theaters anymore? And then that kind of domino effect could lead to theaters closing across the world. And I don't think we'll ever see a world where all theaters are closed, but I do think we'll see a world where the only movies that will be shown at theaters are the big popcorn blockbuster movies. I think that there could come a day when we only see Avengers, Fast and Furious, Star Wars in theaters because they're the only movies that can afford to go anymore. I think that if we continue down this road, there's a real chance that the art piece films, A24 films, Oscar bait films might have to just go to streaming services because it's the only way that they can survive. We've already seen movies from exclusively on streaming services get nominated for big awards. Roma last year, foreign language picture, nominated for Best Picture. The Two Popes this year. What was the other one? There was another Best Picture nominee. Oh, The Irishman. Oh my God, Martin Scorsese, the most acclaimed director of all time, not named Steven Spielberg, having one of his biggest movies, 3.5 hours, released on Netflix because it couldn't survive in theaters. So I tread lightly with this idea of films getting released on VOD services. I understand that these are difficult times. I understand that studios are backed into a corner and they still want to make some sort of money, but sometimes you got to make that tough decision. Fast and Furious got delayed a whole year. That was supposed to come out in April of this year. Now it's coming out in April of next year.
Yeah, hopefully it come out next year because they're saying it could last a whole year yet of this 18 months. So it could be for the next 2 years.
Let me try and close this curtain because we have some weird lighting.
I was going to say, you mentioned about Fast and Furious being delayed. I was going to mention something else then, but I can't remember what I was going to say. During those questions, my microphone was muted there automatically by my software. I had to restart the software, so that's why we ended the show abruptly there without any saying we're getting goodbye and everything, so apologies for that. Here on the Fowler Show, sometimes something likes to freeze on me. So let's talk to you about then some of your favourite moments from Citrus TV so far.
Sure. Well, it's a real quick to answer Patrick's second question.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah. If I were to choose an Avenger to be stuck on a deserted island with, I would go Captain America for all the reasons I already said. His morals, his perseverance. Can't think of anyone else better to be stuck with than Steve Rogers himself. But favorite moments from Citrus TV, man, it's been an incredible ride. I say that as if it's over, but no, I still have a lot of time
Got 2
left
years.
there.
Got 2 years left.
Yeah. I know. I started as a freshman. As very much a wallflower. Did not know where I was going to go, what I was going to do. I came down. I ran crew positions, looking for guidance, looking for a purpose. Moving to college was very intimidating. I had never been away from home for an extended period of time, and now I'm moving, 300 miles away to a brand new state. It was scary, and Citrus TV, when I needed it most, gave me a second home. Around December of 2018, I auditioned to be on air for both sports and entertainment. I did not get the sports role for whatever reason. It was a very talented field. I do not, scoff at that whatsoever. They are a very talented department. But then I did audition for entertainment, and I auditioned to be a film reporter where I would report on film and all that. I did not get that, but they gave me music. And they asked if I wanted to do music, and I was like overjoyed. Absolutely. If this is an opportunity to be on air, then I will take it and run with it. And I just started reading Billboard magazine. I started reading Vulture, any music news site I could get my hands on. I was not a huge music fan. I had my artists I loved, but I was not keeping up with Music News Zealand daily. But I knew with this new role that meant I had to kind of become a music aficionado, and that's what I did. And I was able to get on air quite a lot. Very blessed to have that opportunity, because when you have a on-air position as a reporter, you're not guaranteed airtime. You have to every week pitch a story, pitch new ideas, why we should take you, why we should put you on TV. And I was very passionate about pitching stories. I would always pitch like 3 to 5 stories every week, whether they be small, big, award show coverage or something. And basically, once the year ended, I was very happy with my tenure. I was able to win Citrus TV Entertainment Rookie of the Year, which was my first award ever in the broadcast field in just 4 months of being on air, which was incredible.
Did you get an award? Did you get?
Yeah. The trophy is actually in my dorm room back at Syracuse, which I will be heading up to tomorrow to move out my stuff. But I have it's small. It's like about this big. But that was incredible.
How come you're moving?
Sorry?
How come you're moving your stuff out?
Because the semester's over. Because of coronavirus.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a bit confused by this. Means you move your stuff out and then do you move back in again? And
that's
in the same place or what?
Oh no! So each year we get a new living area. So I was in a different dorm room last year than I was this year.
Right.
And so I moved my stuff in August, and then I usually move it out in May because the year was cut short this year because of COVID-19.
Gotcha.
I have to move my stuff out tomorrow. I have some stuff back home because I came home this week for my spring break, but I did not move everything out because I was anticipating going back. And then obviously our chancellor made the difficult decision to call off the rest of the semester. So I do have to go up tomorrow and get the rest of my stuff. But back to your question about Citrus TV memories. Last semester from August to December was the greatest 4-month period of my life. I can say that confidently. I changed beats. I became I was called the industry beat reporter as opposed to music. And industry meant I could talk about really anything in the entertainment industry, which at first I was a little upset because I was auditioning for host and I did not get host. I got industry. And industry was a brand new position. But then I was like, you know what? Screw being sad about not getting host. Why don't I take this and make it my own? And industry, I talked about everything from music industry news to film industry news with streaming services to eventually, and you'll love this as this is a wrestling talk show.
It's not. It's not actually a wrestling talk show. We've covered different people, from American football to UFC to reporters to entertainment people. So it's a variety show, basically.
Yes, variety show. But one of your main segments is pro wrestling. Is that correct?
You can say that, yes.
Yeah,
you can say that.
But I was able to do 2 different wrestling stories last semester. The first one being on AEW debuting. I did an explainer segment about what AEW was. I pitched this and I was very locked in. I was like, okay, you gotta let me talk about this because no one else at the station cares or knows. But the fact that AEW, a brand new wrestling company, and NXT are going to be airing at the same time on the same day, and they're only one channel apart, like, this is a major story that no one else is going to cover. And of course, everyone rolls their eyes. Fine, Liam, we'll give you 90 seconds. That's all you get.
90 seconds, really? Because when I watched it was more than 90 seconds, I thought. But there you go.
Well, the explainer I did, where I broke down what AEW was initially 90 seconds, and so I had to compress, everything about Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Tony Khan into 90 seconds, and I was able to do it because I was very passionate. But then eventually, they liked how it was written, and they said, okay, well, what if we do after your explainer? We go to commercial break, we come back, and we do a debate segment. And so we had me defending AEW, and then one of my other reporters, Mason Horodisky, defending NXT. And we did a little back and forth debate of what would be better, and that ended up being the most viewed segment on our show for the entire year. And just like that, because of how many views it got and how many interactions, I eventually next pitched to do a story on the Saudi Arabia travel crisis.
Yes.
Which, as we know about, I believe it was in October.
Yes, you're right.
Because the show, was it Super Showdown? I think it was Super Showdown.
I believe so.
That took place, I believe, on Halloween, and then they were all stranded there with the travel and everything. And yeah, that was a crazy scenario. I pitched this whole thing. I told them every detail about what was going on, and they just said, run free with it. So it went from them being like, okay, we'll give you 90 seconds, to them being like, okay, yeah, we trust you. So I was able to do a segment for 3 minutes, which in broadcast, when you have a 29-minute show, but subtract commercials, it's 22. 3 minutes out of 22 minutes, that's a big chunk of time. So
yes.
I was very grateful to be able to run free with that story. Definitely one of my favorite memories. I love the news department. I worked heavily with them. I was able to do a lot of anchoring this semester because people went abroad, people were busy. They called on me to fill in when need be, and that was great. But one of my fondest memories, and I'll just wrap up the question with this, is the people at Citrus TV. I can talk for ages about all the content that I've done and all the times I've spent on air, but the most special part about Citrus TV is the people that make up the station, because for so long I've been, small town, Braintree, Massachusetts, right outside of Boston, just about 10 miles, technically still in like the Boston circle, but not Boston specifically. I've been a kid with a big dream, and no one in my hometown really got that. And once I was able to get to Syracuse and branch out and be around people that were passionate, don't get me wrong, it's a competitive field, but when you can find those people that are just like you, but they're not trying to stab you in the back, they're not trying to get ahead, they're rooting for you. Everyone's rooting for each other. Everyone wants everyone to succeed. Sure, it's competitive, but there's thousands of stations across the United States. There's dozens of major networks. There's so many jobs out there in this field. And so the people that I've been able to foster friendships worth a lifetime in just a couple months, it's incredible. I've had friends from my hometown where we've been friends for over 10 years, but it took, years and years in school to really get close. And then you're in college and you can meet someone, and a month later, you're going to their dorm and sharing laughs and sharing stories, and as if you've known them for years. I'm currently the entertainment director at Citrus TV, which means I oversee all entertainment programs. And I'm on an executive staff of, I believe it's 12 people. And whenever we're able to get together and get out of the station and just sit around and hang out and share stories, it's really special. And it's something that no matter how much college can kind of get you down sometimes, because it's very expensive and you're far away from home, and you oftentimes you are overworked. At the end of the day, the friendships and memories I've made with the people at Citrus TV are priceless. I will gladly pay off student loans for 2 decades until I'm 40 or 50 in exchange for memories with those people. It's priceless. You can't put a price on it, and it's really special. So to wrap up your question, I've had many great memories at Citrus TV, but the fondest one I have is all the friendships I've made in just over a year being at the station.
Nice. And I have to say, this is part 2 of Liam Crowley's interview. For some reason, when I ended the main live stream, it actually uploaded itself now, so we've now got part 1 of 2. This is part 2 of 2, so apologies for that.
Okay.
Anyway, my last question to you, I know you're quite busy. Well, hopefully be busy at some point today, hopefully, you never know. Who would you suggest me to get in contact with next? And let's say, if I was able to contact Chris Van Vliet, and if I was able to get him on the show in the next, let's say, while this pandemic is ongoing in the country, I know from next week he's going to be live every weekday, I believe, next week at 5 p.m. UK time. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern. If we ever come on the show, would you come on Skype? Let's say if we come on the show, you can come on Skype and then you can actually direct him to come on your podcast. So please give it a plug right now here as well to come on your podcast live, or however you do your podcast, to get him on your show through me.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be incredible, Ed. Yeah, I would love to. If that were to be possible, I'd love to come on again. But my podcast, I have a couple personal projects that I work on. I have an interview series I do on my YouTube channel, which is a video-based interview series where I sit down and talk with people I'm fond of and everything in the media industry. I only have one episode so far, but that was with Ben Bateman. He is an entertainment host based out of Los Angeles, California. He's done work for AfterBuzz TV, Popcorn Talk Network, Collider, Entertainment Tonight, you name it, he's done it, and that was a really special interview. But yeah, if I could get Chris Van Vliet on for that would be incredible. The other projects I have that I regularly add to is called Educated Kicks. It is my pro wrestling podcast that I do with a couple of my buddies from my hometown.
Boston,
from Boston, Massachusetts, correct. And we kind of just discuss pro wrestling, stuff that's going on. We kind of just anything we want to discuss in the world of pro wrestling, we talk about it. We'll revisit old pay-per-views. We'll do our favorite moments from the decade or whatnot, favorite promos, stuff like that. It's kind of a variety show, as you would call your show, but in the world of pro wrestling. We don't stick to just news coverage. We'll go back and revisit old pay-per-views and all that. And that one is pretty infrequent, but it we don't have episodes every week necessarily. We kind of just do them when we're available. But Educated Kicks, that comes from it was an old WWE video game where Jerry Lawler every 2 minutes would say he's putting those educated feet to good use to describe someone kicking someone in pro wrestling. And so he decided to take that and change it up a little bit and call it Educated Kicks. But yeah, you can find that on iTunes. Just give it a search, Educated Kicks, Educated Space Kicks, or search my name, Liam Crowley. You can find it on Spreaker.com. That's speaker, but with an R. So SPREAKER.com. That's my podcast host network. I believe it's also on SoundCloud as well. And yeah, give it a listen. Give it a 5-star review. That'd be really helpful to the show. We're trying to get monetized so we can eventually have some adverts on there. So the more interactions we get, the more likely that will be. And if this goes out to Chris Van Vliet, if you'd ever like to come on the show, I will gladly have you on. I know, we're all in quarantine right now, but that doesn't mean any of us are any less busy. People are trying to connect with others via phone call and all that. So, that would be amazing. If you could put me in contact with him, Ed, I can't thank you enough. I'd be eternally grateful.
Yeah, well, again, I won't make any promises, but again, I'll try my best to get just to see if we can get him on the show again, because he did say to me, even though it's been over a month now, but I mean, back in June, and that clip is available, I think, on YouTube. If I posted that, can't remember. But he did say that he wanted the Bears to win the championship. We agreed that in February of this year, we're going to bring him on the show to see if he was right. Well, I didn't actually contact him in Feb because he was quite busy and I didn't think he would be free to come on the show. But I'm just going to reach out to him and see if he remembers who I am. If he does, fantastically, and see if he can come back on the Edward Fowler show within the next few weeks at 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube.com. And the other question was that as well. I think I said, who would you suggest me to get in contact with next from your wonderful connections? Who do you think? Oh, not your connections, but anybody in general, really. That might be from your connections.
Yeah, let's see. Definitely have a bunch of people related to Citrus TV that would definitely be willing to come on your show. The options in terms of people who enjoy pro wrestling are limited.
Or any sport really.
Any sport,
any sport, because we do a lot of different sports. We've had on UFC fighters, we've had on David Pindell from Huskies, I think it's Utah Huskies, I think I'm going to say. A few weeks ago, we had on a reporter / now valet in NWA from Brazil, Mayra Diaz-Gomez. We've had on Goldilocks as well, who's a singer but former interviewer for TNA back in the good old 2000s. We a lot of different people have been on the show, and it's quite amazing the people I've been able to get on the show who I would never thought would have to come on my very small show, who are much bigger than me. So I'm very surprised by how many people actually do come on the show. But there you go. Sorry for interrupting you there.
Oh, no, you're good. In terms of potential pro wrestler, I'd say try to reach out to David Starr. I know he's like one of the biggest names on the indies right now, but I know he's very involved with the British indie scene, and I feel like he's one of the few you could get on that wouldn't have to ask their company if he could go on your show. I've reached out before to Xavier Woods to try and get him on Educated Kicks, and he actually gave me a response which was nice, but he was like, all media appearances have to be cleared by WWE. So obviously when you work for a big company like WWE or AEW, you have to kind of go to the higher ups to get clearance to go on shows and all that. But David Starr, I think, would be a really cool interview. Will Ospreay, maybe. I know he does work with pretty often. He recently did something with Wrestle Talk to do some sort of promotional event. I think it was called Screw Coronavirus Support Wrestling, something like that. Just empty arena show that was strictly to donate.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen that on YouTube.
It was pretty cool.
It was.
Yeah, it was cool. Completely organized by Ospreay, but he did it in partnership with Wrestle Talk, completely to raise money for coronavirus research. So I thought that was very special.
And the ring announcer, Miss Lucy Openshaw, who was on that show, which you watched, was on this show back in I think it was either September or October it was, I'm going to say, of last year. So yes. Some high people be on the show, and it's great that she was given an opportunity on a big YouTube channel to showcase her skills, which is very excellent and very well deserved, I think.
Yeah.
But there we go. Sure. There we go. So a lot of good suggestions there. Many British wrestlers, as I like it here, with David Starr and Will Ospreay. We did actually get in contact. We'll try to get in contact with Nathan Cruz, if you've heard of him. Unfortunately, his inbox, his email, is filled up. According to when I send them an email, I got a response 3 days later from Gmail saying that his inbox is currently full and he can't send any other emails apparently. So I don't know how many emails you can send on Gmail at once. I don't know. I've not reached that limit yet. But anyway, I'll have to try and reach out some other way to Nathan Cruz. But I can announce right now here on the Edward Fowler Show the next guest to come on my show this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. on the West Coast, and that will be 1 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Will be Michael Jackson's tribute act / pro wrestler Santana Jackson will be coming on to the Edward Fowler Show this coming Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. on the West Coast, 5 p.m. UK time. Hope you can tune in for that. Have you heard of Santana Jackson?
I can't say I have, but is she?
It's a he.
Is it a he?
Yeah.
Is he the one that does the moonwalk DDT?
Yeah. He's the one.
Okay, then I've I've seen clips. Then I'm not. I haven't seen any full matches, but yeah. Excuse me for mixing up the he and she. I just when I hear Santana, I think of Santana Garrett, who is I believe she's signed to NXT. I could be wrong, but she's definitely competed in the Mae Young Classic before.
Yeah. But yeah, he's been over the internet. Santana Jackson most recently for that famous moonwalk DDT. He appeared on BT Sports UK WWE UK official Twitter account showcasing that. Even Jeff Jarrett liked that video BT Sports shared of Santana Jackson doing his moonwalk there. So he might have the eyes of the WWE on him now. But we can ask him more of those questions. And if you do have a question for Santana Jackson, all you have to do is send it in to me on Twitter, hashtag The Edward Fowler Show, to ask your question to Santana Jackson. I will be announcing it in about the next few minutes on my official social media, so stick around for those, for the official announcement of his appearance coming onto The Edward Fowler Show of this coming Sunday at, again, the slightly earlier time of 5 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. West Coast time, and 1 p.m. Eastern, I believe, on the East Coast. All times are corrected at the time of this recording, and the full event of the live stream will be up before the show. So check out my YouTube channel 6 to 7 hours before the show is live for you to get the accurate time of when it will be live on youtube.com/Edward Fowler. And you can also find me on social media as well. You're going to keep up with all my latest updates, my next guests and such like that. You can find me on both on Twitter and Instagram, _Edward Fowler _ on Twitter, and on Instagram it's Edward Fowler Show. Simple enough. And again, you can follow Liam Crowley on Twitter and Instagram as well. You can find Liam on Twitter at Liam T. Crowley, and also on Instagram, Liam Crowley 714. Interesting username on Instagram. I'm guessing your name was taken already by somebody else. I may have put on 714. Why didn't you use a T? Why didn't you use a T on Instagram? Liam T. Crowley. Was that taken as well?
Well, my Twitter was originally Liam Crowley 714, and then I got locked out of it because I forgot the password. So I had to make a new Twitter, and because I got locked out of it, I couldn't change. Like the Liam Crowley 714 username still exists, and I can't delete it, which is unfortunate. But I made it Liam T. Crowley because I thought it looked nice and slick and professional because of the capital letters. But on Instagram, everything's lowercase, so maybe one day I'll switch to Liam T. Crowley on Instagram. But the 714 is because my birthday is July 14th, so 7 for July, 14 for the day. I know in the UK you guys do the date first and then the month, but here in the US we do month, day. So that's the significance. I'm really hoping one day the username just at Liam will clear up and I can take that, but it's taken on both Twitter and Instagram. Well, so a thing came out last year that they're going to be deleting Twitter accounts because they're no longer in use. So I'm waiting for them to get rid of the username at Edward Fowler on Twitter, so that then I can get at Edward Fowler without the underscores in the way. Get rid of the underscores, just be called Edward Fowler, because the person who created that Twitter account has not been active since 2009, so 11 years ago. So come on, let's get that person deleted. And let's that username back into circulation, because I would love to use the name at Edward Fowler. So much easier. I should be more unique with my name. Maybe I can change my name to something else. But hey ho, that's what my name is. That's what Liam Crowley's name is. But I do like at just Liam. I do like that. Good username. Hopefully it comes available to you soon. We're going to wrap this up now here on the Edward Fowler Show. And will you ever come back on the show again when you get free time in the future? Because we're all guessing this is a once in a lifetime that that people will be locked at home for so many months. Like I don't think in our lifetime again we'll ever see something like this again. But we could be wrong. It could happen again in 10 or 20 years or 30 years down the line. But would you ever come on the show again if you have free time? Oh, absolutely. This was a blast. Thank you so much for having me on. It's cool to be able to just talk about my life and my passions and my career. Very unfiltered, not reading off a script or anything.
No script. Not my show.
No script. Yeah. So yeah, no, this was a blast. This was cool, and yeah, I mean, I'm home until August for the summer. Obviously, I'm going to be busy during the summer between jobs and internships and whatnot. But yeah, honestly, reach out whenever, and hopefully we can set up episode 2 of Liam Crowley on the Edward Fowler Show.
Yeah, and hopefully episode 2 will be without any part 1s or part 2s. Anyway, there we go. Just stay on the phone. I want to discuss something else with you. But for everyone else here watching on YouTube.com, enjoy the rest of your Friday, because it is Friday feeling, and many of you are now stuck at home with nothing else to do. So make sure you do have some beer or some wine or whatever you do to get yourself in the party mood. So do something good this evening. And until the next...
Coffee is great.
Coffee's great for Liam to get in this party mood. But for everyone else, enjoy your Friday. And make sure you do wash your hands as well. Wash your hands. Follow the government's advice in both the UK and the US. And this month will fly by. Next month will fly by. Before you know it, we'll be in June. And maybe this whole thing might be over with. So don't forget, we're live on Sunday at 5 p.m. GMT, 1 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Hope you can join us then. But until then, good night from all of us here in Manchester and Boston.